Let's bring in Nancy Cortez, who is also at the Crown Coliseum in Fayetteville. Nancy, just curious, what's your headline here tonight?
Well, first of all, Christine, you heard a very conciliatory Donald Trump going softer on the other side, going softer on the media than we've heard him before, trying to show that he is ready to try to bring the country together after a divisive election. But he also came out with a very long laundry list of promises, very ambitious promises. He said, for example, that he is going to lead the administration that ends illegal immigration, that he is going to get rid of all of the drugs. And he promised that in a very short period of time, we will see a proposal from his administration in waiting for a new health care system via the Veterans Administration that he said would be cheaper, would eliminate waiting, and would involve better care. He said he couldn't believe that no one had thought of this before. So, as usual, the devil is in the details. Certainly that's something that everyone would aspire to, and that got a great reception here in an audience that was made up of a lot of military families.
Trump did officially name retired General James Mattis, as we mentioned, to be his defense secretary. He also referenced a waiver that he would need in order to take that job. Nancy, remind us what exactly that is.
Well, typically there are rules governing retired military generals re-entering public service, and at the Department of Defense, typically you aren't supposed to come back and lead that agency unless you have been out of the military for, I believe it is 5 years. But in retired General Mattis' situation, he's actually been out for less than that. So it requires a waiver from Congress in order for him to be able to accept the job. And that's why when Mattis took the stage, he said, I'm looking forward to doing this job, assuming that I get a waiver from Congress. This is something that Republicans in the Senate are actually actively working to push through right now. They're going to attach it to a spending bill that is under consideration, which is going to put Democrats in something of a pickle, because if they try to block that waiver, what they're going to end up doing is blocking money that keeps the government running. So that's a fight that we're going to see developing over the next couple of days on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, and Trump almost seemed to send out a subtle verbal warning, saying that, telling the crowd that Mattis will get that waiver. If he doesn't, a lot of angry people will be around.
That's right, and this is, a new fight for members of Congress. It's something you see from time to time, but the president has shown a proclivity for naming a number of generals to cabinet positions, and so there's a feeling among some Democrats that that's a bit of a troubling development. That they worry that they're going to have war on their minds, or that they're going to try to run cabinet agencies the way that they ran the military. There are some similarities, but a lot of differences, and often the conventional wisdom is that generals can get a little bit frustrated running cabinet agencies because things move so much more slowly than they do in a military regiment where what you say goes. So this is something that is a bit troubling to Democrats. Are they willing to go to the mat over it? Are they willing to try to block this waiver? Probably not, because there isn't widespread opposition to this particular pick, General Mattis. There's a sense among Democrats that he's better than some of the other candidates that Donald Trump was considering. So my guess is it will probably go through in the end, but Democrats will take this opportunity to try to get some attention to their argument that the president-elect has probably named enough generals to his cabinet at this point.
Regarding the president-elect's renewed call for Congress to approve close to $1 trillion in infrastructure spending, is there any daylight on that issue between him and House Speaker Paul Ryan?
There's a lot of daylight between him and the House Speaker, and between him and a number of Republicans in Congress, because this is something that they've really taken a hard line on over the years, Christine. They say, look, government spending is government spending, and while we love our infrastructure. With the kind of debt and deficit that we're dealing with, we simply don't have the money. And so this is something that has really gone nowhere over the past half a decade on Capitol Hill. It's something that President Obama pushed for, and Republicans were strongly in opposition. Now, it could be a different story with Donald Trump in the White House as opposed to President Obama. They've certainly shown some softening on other issues that they used to be very, very firm on. And so it's possible if they can come up with a way, perhaps to cut spending in some other way, that they might be able to get behind a more limited infrastructure spending package than the one that he's been talking about. A package that, frankly, a lot of Democrats would be thrilled to get behind and have already signaled that they are willing to work with the president-elect on this issue first and foremost, even if they disagree with a lot of the other things that he's proposed.
Nancy, we are learning that Trump is near making a choice on his appointee to lead the Department of Homeland Security. Can you talk a little bit more about that? What do we know exactly?
Well, we know that he's gotten very close, Christine, to naming another retired Marine Corps general to lead that agency as well. This is a key agency because the Department of Homeland Security oversees Customs and Border Patrol. The FBI falls under DHS purview, and this is one of the key tenets of the president-elect's platform, is building the wall, as he talked about again here tonight, and keeping illegal immigrants out. He did, however, talk about the fact that he wants to let hundreds, if not thousands of people come back in. They just need to do it legally. So, the person he chooses for this position is very critical to making that a part of his platform happen. And so our understanding right now is that he's very close to naming a retired Marine Corps general who is very hawkish when it comes to border security, very close to retired General James Mattis, and they backed each other throughout this transition process.
Nancy, do you have any idea why Trump was referencing the flag burning? He referenced it at least 2 or 3 times, saying that we're going to see what we're going to do about that.
Well, first of all, it's an issue that he knows strikes a chord with a lot of voters in his base, and it's sort of a comment that's guaranteed to get a big cheer out of the crowd. It's one of those issues that his aides argue the mainstream media and the elites simply don't understand. There's a great love for the flag, and that this is something that his crowds love to hear, and obviously had created a bit of controversy last week when he seemingly out of nowhere said that he believed that flag burning should be illegal and that people who burn the flag should be punished. Of course, the Supreme Court has ruled that it is an expression of speech and it's protected by the Constitution. And later, Donald Trump's aide said he knows that. He just disagrees with that ruling. And, no surprise, it got a big cheer here in Fayetteville. And I believe that's why he brought it up, and that's why he keeps talking about it. He knows his base. He knows that it's something that'll fire them up. And he plays to his base on social issues the same way that Barack Obama would, or any major politician.
All right, Nancy Cortez, thanks for talking over all the music there in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It was a great discussion. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Sure thing. You too, Christine.